Welcome to another episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. It's your girl Jaylah, like always, bringing you the newest, best, and most cool, awesome. I don't even know how to say it anymore, but we have some amazing guests all the time, bringing you the latest in tech and around the world and all these amazing stories. And today is no different. We have an amazing guest with us today. We have Noelle Curtis, CEO and founder of Busy Boulevard Inc. Hi, Noelle. How are you?
Hey, Jayla, I am blessed. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really excited to have you on. I know it's been a little hectic. We've been like trying to get this done for a while now, but we're both very busy women, which is great. I love that. And I love that, we have open communication, that wherever, we're able to finally be here. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, busy, fun, and pun intended, right? But I mean, starting a company, doing tracking media, all these things, still being a wife and a mom, it is just one of those things like, hey, it's on my schedule. I'm determined to make it happen. And you can see even now I'm in between meetings. I have an enterprise call right after this as well, actually on site. So it's like, we're going, but thank God,
Yes.
technology. I love it.
So So do I. So let's get straight to the point and tell us a little bit about who Noelle Curtis is.
Oh, I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer and a doer. Literally have the award to prove it. No, I literally, I say now at this point in my life, I live vicariously through my own life. I see problems. I want to fix them. I am always mindful, though, not to encroach on people's kind of comfort of just being mediocre. But I will meet someone where they are and push them to, see the best in themselves. Yeah, I genuinely love life. I love helping people. I love looking to see how can things get better and how can it impact other people around me. So, yeah, I like to think I'm a loving person and patient and still adventurous and curious about life. Like I would love to go to space camp. So if I get an option and a chance of like space camp, here I come.
Hey, you never know. Nowadays, we can make anything possible. I'm a firm believer in that, where there's a will, there's a way. It's just figuring out those doors. Tell us about Busy Boulevard.
Oh my gosh, my labor of love. My I refuse to go work for anybody else point in life. So Busy Boulevard Inc. We are a software development company. We have set our beachhead in the beauty industry. Here comes the train. At least it's running a little slow. Yes. So we are a software development company. We create software that really helps improve profit margins in industries that typically do not have a lot of tech advancement. So we launched in the beauty space. We have an agricultural product that we're working on as well. But overall, we really have come to this point where we refuse to let certain industries get left behind. And so we really have looked to be as intentional as possible to create products that solve for problems that have been consistently plaguing particular industries. Even if we know the problem won't be solved in our lifetime, we are at least looking to do our part to move those industry successes further along.
So tell me a little bit about where, though, like,
Mhm.
did Busy Boulevard begin? Like, where was that moment of
Yeah.
like, we need this in our community? Was it something that you went through, your family went through, or like, was there a certain situation that was like, okay, I want to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to sound cliche, but I did launch the first product, our Busy Boulevard platform, out of a need that I had experienced. So I had a day spa for 10 years. And then when the pandemic hit, we were forced to close like so many others. We're based in Chicago, Illinois, and Illinois was one of the last industries to open back after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I took that time, how I don't know about you and your faith walk, but I was like, oh God, if I ever had the time to focus on this, I will actually do it. And so when the pandemic hit, I took the time to systematize a process that I had already been incorporated into our company's success. So within the beauty industry, there's like a 9% profit margin that is kind of constant if you sell products or if you do services. And the system that I had finally figured out and operated our company on allowed us to hit 25% profit margin. And
Wow.
it was getting stronger and stronger. Yeah, it was getting so strong and we were seeing the results. And then the pandemic hit, right? And so I was helping other entrepreneurs, coaching them through that system before the pandemic hit. But when it did hit, I actually had the chance to enter into a pitch competition. You'll see, like, the video shows me literally in the day spa lobby doing my pitch competition in between clients on my lunch break, and I won $25,000.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, so it was pretty exciting. I literally had like a mouthful of food when they announced my win. But that system that I created had helped our company get to a stronger financial position. And as I started talking to other beauty service providers, I realized they were having the exact same issue, right? They
Yeah.
produce great work, they have a great client base, but something was lacking in their financial planning. And so I said, well, let me try this with you, right? So we did my beta, right? Because I didn't come the technical way that most people like,
Right.
oh, come this way. My beta was with beauty service providers in their salon suites, like one after the other, word of mouth. Let's try this on an Excel spreadsheet, right? Like, hey, here's some formulas. Let's take your information, put it in here, run it through, and see if it's going to work for you the way it's been working for me. And sure
Right.
enough, client after client after client, we're seeing the results. And so I said, okay, I'm on to something. When I made my pitch, I was like, okay, how can we take business intelligence as well as some artificial intelligence and blend it together to create a product that will actually benefit, and not just benefit, but give guardrails and touch points and those milestones. So a little bit of a business coach in a box, a little bit of business coach without the coachy fluff. We get straight to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's help you be honest with where you are so that you can really map out where you want to go. And using our system, it helps you achieve that. And it's developed so much more since that. That was in 2022, and now we're in 2025. And we got vibe coders ready to come work with us. So it's been an amazing evolution. But in short, it did stem from a need that I had. I had a struggle like the first 3 years of my company being open, and I was like, what is going on? I had this business plan, I
Yeah.
had these numbers, and it didn't show up the way I thought it would. So, you gotta lean into what you know will work, and that's what we've done. And so now we're here.
Did you ever imagine, after being in the beauty industry,
Mhm.
that you would be a tech founder?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I know I say it 100% hard stop. I have a picture. I posted it. So I learned how to code in high school. I went
Okay.
to Providence. Yeah, I went to Providence St. Mail on the west side, and we had a coding class in high school, and I loved it. I mean, I remember the first code, that like the algorithm, the if-then statement that would make the door open and the ball go through, right? And I was like, oh my God, I could do this with just some X's and O's and like some, like the little symbols. And so it was an amazing experience. But I unfortunately had to pay my way through college. I didn't have scholarships, right? I was like, I was not a straight A student, but I made sure at Providence St. Mail they gave us a stock certificate if we made the honor roll. I was like, I am not leaving this high school if I do not get some stock. But because I had to pay my own way through college and I didn't have scholarships, I had to work all the way. I even had to work to pay my high school tuition. It just seemed like it was an impossible degree for me to focus on in
Okay.
college. So I went communications and business, but all along the way, I kept a pulse on what was going on with tech and software, realizing that I wanted to somehow be involved. I love to see the evolution of how it's
Yeah.
come from, the 90s till now. And then I finally, got to a point where I was able to basically fund my own way into it. Right. And so even though I didn't get into it in a traditional sense, I'm still here. But I always knew I would have some entrepreneurial experience. I didn't know it would be this tech heavy, but
Okay.
I'm glad and grateful that my entrepreneurial experiences blended with my curiosity and my passion for technology and how it can help us and enhance who we are, has come to where we are now.
Absolutely. It's such a beautiful thing because, like, we were talking off air. I was in media for 15 years, 20, almost 20, 20, leaning towards 20, not to
Yeah.
show my age, but
Oh, I'm here
um,
with you. I was there too. My first career was in media and advertising sales. I was all around the world doing advertising sales and media in print. It
yeah.
was
And
before social.
before social and digital, right? And I don't think, at least for me, it was like, luckily for my co-founder Zach, he's very persistent, and he was just like, "You need to get into tech." And I was like, "How am I going to get into tech? I don't know anything." And now here we are, 4 or 5 years later, and it's been honestly such an incredible journey because this community is so different than most communities. Like, the
Mhm.
gatekeeping is different, the conversations, the community, the building, the willingness to grow together. And I think that that's
Yeah.
so beautiful. How's your experience been within?
Yeah, I will say it's had its ebbs and flows, right? Like, you know, there are times when you do have to separate yourself from the chatter and the people and literally like tap into what is it that I'm trying to make happen. So I find myself in my isolated moments, self-isolated, self-imposed, and then I find myself in my total extrovert moments, right? Where it's like, hey, let's get out, let's see what other people are doing so that I can, have the energy and the creativity flow. But I also realize that it's very important that you don't get caught up in someone else's, oh, you should do this or you should do that, because then it's not what was put in my heart and in my, vision to execute. But here in Chicago, it has been a very open and welcoming community. The fundraising community, that's a little different. The venture capital conversation and
I
climate,
mean, at the end of the day, it's so money's money.
oh my gosh, that one has been interesting. But even there, right, I found my way to navigate through it. And I always liken it to when I even started my day spa. Beauty and health, and as an esthetician, like it's shrouded in science. And I was horrible in organic chemistry in college, but beauty chemistry was my chemistry, right? And the same way in tech, right? There's so many different layers to
Yeah,
technology, and you have to find your layer and be comfortable in your lane, right?
yeah.
I know how to code, but I know I'm not going to code all day. That's not my
That's
passion.
not who you are. Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's been, where am I comfortable in my skin and in my capabilities and my ability? But then also, here comes another train. Also being comfortable enough and humble enough to let someone know, hey, I don't have the skill set for this, but I see you do. Is this something you'd be interested in collaborating on? Can I talk to you? Can I tap into your ability? And so far, I mean, even to the point of this conversation, right? Like, it, when you ask, most time, like, what, another train. What I say, they are actually on time today. Uh, yeah, when you are, and I'm so sorry about the train.
No, you're
Um,
good. You're good.
but being humble enough to ask for help and plug in the shortcomings that you can't do. But that's what comes from being out and meeting other people, right? Observing, what are they doing, how do they move? Because if they can't move at least on this in the same chapter of how I move, right, there's a different engagement there as well. So I'm constantly looking to see how I can collaborate with other people in the space, especially here in Chicago.
Yeah,
But then also acknowledging when, this just isn't the room for me to be in. And where do I find
absolutely.
the room? Right. So, I mean, I traveled in New York, San Francisco, Miami, Atlanta. I go where the talent is that will help us grow, to your point, collectively as a community.
What is next for Busy Boulevard? Because I know
Ah,
there's a lot of work in progress. So what is it?
yes.
From what you can tell us, what does that look like?
I know, right? Because it's always what can I say before the ink is dried? So we are actively working on our credit union program. So I sit on the board of a credit union here in Chicago, and um, because of that exposure, I see the areas where even, because of policy and regulation, right, where there's still a wall in the finance and access to finance. The
Yeah.
beautiful thing about fintech, right, is that we we found workarounds, and we are presently working on a credit union program for our subscribers, which is I'm so grateful and thrilled about that. And then we are also working on an agricultural software as well.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. A lot of people don't know I have a farming background, and I'm like, but I got the pictures to prove it. We had a
That's
catfish farm.
amazing.
Yeah. So they're like, but you always look so like shiny and polished. I'm like, yeah, but I will get down and dirty. Give me the shotgun. I got the aim. I will. I, I tell people, if we were on a live version of Survival, you want me on your team, okay? Because
Listen, I'm already taking notes.
yeah, yeah.
You're very well rounded. I'm down for it.
Yes. So we're working on those things. I am trying to figure. I really want to tap into some satellite telemetry with some of the things that we're working with, and to figure out how we can create software that'll help control farming implements. So we're working on that as well. And those I could talk about freely. I won't talk about the organizations that we're partnering with to make that happen, but they are in the work, and I'm super excited about it because, again, that's the beauty of technology, and that's why I'm in it, because I'm like, oh my God, any of these ideas that I have, I can make them come to life with
Yep.
technology. And it does take time, right? I'm learning patience. Technology will also teach you patience, right?
Right.
I laugh when people are like, oh, well, I'm going to do this and it's going to be here tomorrow. I'm like, no, that's not how that works, right? Like, your plan sounds great, and then you get people involved and you realize, like, oh my gosh, I thought this was going to happen in 6 months, and now we're, 9 months in, or, 10 months in. So I'm being patient, but actively pushing them forward. So super excited about that. And you all are kind of like the first to hear about that, like collectively open. There's another train. All right.
Okay. I'm really excited for what's to come. And I know that we are going to be on standby for you whenever you have any amazing news, any more updates, or you just want to come on and chat again. Please feel free to reach out. We would love to have you again on this episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. How can you be reached? Whether it's tech founders, supporters, VCs, community builders, anybody that wants to be a part of Busy Boulevard, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, I'm readily accessible on our website. I do see just about every single communication that comes through our company. We're still a small team, so I do see all the communication that comes across. If you LinkedIn me, I will eventually see it. All of our socials, I will eventually see it. But you can also send an email, noelc@busyboulevard.com. That comes directly to me. And then our office number, what are we, 312-809-2474. So that's 809 busy. And my messages come to me. I might not answer the phone every single time, but there are some times when I'm answering the phone. So I am very much accessible. And yeah, just a phone call, an email, or a DM away. And yes, I definitely want to come back, because I am launching a podcast as well. So we got to figure out, like, that week. Yeah, I'm super excited about it, right? It just turns into another way for us to build community with our
Right.
subscribers, with the tech community, with the beauty community, with the farming community. Let's bring it all together.
Let's continue opening these doors and creating change. Thank you so much, Noelle, for being with us. And I cannot wait to see what else you and Busybody have happening over here. Busy Boulevard. You got me busy. I'm like, I gotta put more. I already got my to-do list. I was like, I got a whole plan to do now.
Oh, you know what? All I can tell you is one of the best pieces of advice that I got from a mentor, right? He's like, hey, plan your calendar the night before. And I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense. And then it takes some of the pressure off. It helps me keep on track for the projects that I'm working on. But yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm not a busybody because I'm not always in people's business like that. I'm not nosy. I'm like, well, okay, I'll say this. I'm nosy to the point of, but you said you want it better, right? Like
There you
you
go.
want it better, so I'm gonna help you get better. I'm not
You're
being
not
in your business just to
There's
be nosy.
nothing wrong with holding
Yeah.
people accountable. I think some people need
Mhm.
a little push of accountability, and that makes you like I like accountability sometimes. It makes me feel proud of myself when I accomplish the things that I
Exactly.
keep accountable. I'll be like, I did that.
And a lot of people, Jaylah, I'm glad you say that. I know we're coming to time, but that's one of the things that we love about our brand, right? So in the beauty industry, we are trained to fade to the back so that our clients can shine. And that you'll see even shine through in our brand, right? We want our clients and our subscribers to be the highlight of what's going on. So yes, I'm in, posts and all of that stuff, but it's not about me. It's really about, here, I have this gift. I created this product. It's going to help so many people, and it has been helping so many people. And we celebrate the wins along the way. A lot of times people get so distracted with, oh, well, I haven't accomplished this by this time. I'm like, yeah, but
Yep.
look at all what you did accomplish, right? Let's not negate or take for granted the things that we have accomplished. Celebrate those along the way. And we are here for, we are here for a good party. We work
Yep.
hard, we play hard.
Yes, so we're going to definitely bring you out to Miami soon so we could do all of that and a little work. And thank you so much once again, Noelle, for being here. And we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the train, but yes, thanks so much for having me.
Bye. That was another episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. As always, bringing you some amazing guests. Until next time, bye.